Libra, I have your March 2024 horoscope. But firstly, let's draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for you for the month. Let's go to the board now. There it is. It's all happening. So first half of the month for you, lovely Libra. What's this click-clack? Click-clack. Is it undoing or is it doing something up? It's undoing something. Something has been a bit restricted or limited in some way. This is like a band. It's not actually a chain. It's like a woven band, but it's got a thing on the end that click-clacks into position. It's almost like freight on a freight truck. The freight's been held there. It's like waiting for something to be delivered. You finally get it. So that's it, and that could be actual, or it could be looking at it from a symbolic point of view. It could be some energy in yourself that has been restricted or tied up, and there's a delay. There's been a delay. Let's get more clarification and draw a card to do that. I'm going to take that one there. So there's been a bit of sadness or a sense of loss about something. Maybe this is what's been holding you up in some respect. Memories of the past, which could be triggered by an event that's going on right now. And this is harking back to the past. Maybe that's something that happened when you were a child, perhaps. And there was some sort of relationship. It could be an actual love relationship. However, my focus is not on the red rose, it's really on the white roses. It's the spiritual nature of the relationship or the connection that you had with a person, or maybe even a group. Maybe there was something like going to school and you wanted to go to school and you loved going to school, but then it all went pear-shaped, unfortunately. Spirit is handing you the ability to get out of this situation and to resolve it once and for all. There's a lot of growth here, and it has really affected your self-esteem and maybe even your self-respect, the way you were treated or the events around this. But I feel like it goes back a long way. So it could be back to your childhood years, and it's situations that are triggering the despondency or the sense of sadness around things not working out the way you wanted. Now, looking at the second half of March, what do I see for you? A clock, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Timing's important. Cups of tea are important. Maybe that's just saying it's self-nurturing. In the old days, you used to say have a cup of tea and a good lie down or something when something went wrong. Well, it's not bad advice, actually. If you drink good quality tea, it's good advice. It's got a lot of antioxidants, in fact. And what else am I saying? I just get you moving on. Enough is enough, and I just get you moving on. The card that comes up is the King of Swords. You might be dealing with someone who's particularly logical and to the point where they could be ruthless, or alternatively it might be that you need to be ruthless and cut the umbilical cord to the past, and it's hard to do. This energy, the King of Swords, is very logical, very analytical, very mentally focused. It doesn't run through a human heart, which maybe it should do. For looking for compassion with this energy, you're not going to get it. This energy comes about because this king is seated on a diamond throne. It's heat and pressure, so it's because of their own history where there's been stress and pressure that they've come to adopt this sort of attitude. But we can all do with this energy ourselves. So this person might teach you how to be a bit more ruthless yourself. But I say wield it very carefully. It's not a nice card, but it can be a necessary card, if that makes sense. Hope it does. You can see here, just looking at these cards, the sadness and despondency may be the result of like dealing with somebody who's ruthless. So, but let's have a look. Let's put that to the side and we'll get more clarification here as we look at your horoscope. And I'm going to make that bigger like that. Fair bit happening. A T-square starts the month off. Now, it's a very wide T-square, so it's not strong, but you'll probably still notice it. It's only on the first day of the month because the moon is here in your financial section. and it's literally only here for 2 days or 3 days at the most, and it's opposite Uranus conjunct Jupiter in your shared resources. Something that you're dealing with which you share with somebody else. You don't have full autonomy in this regard. It's being held up by somebody. It could be something you've invested a lot of energy or money into it, so some sort of investment. It could be taxation or superannuation as well. But on the first, there's some sort of uncomfortable energy around. It's opposition, so it is a challenge. However, these planets here, we call the moon a planet, focusing their energy towards Venus here in your creative zone. Venus is all about, sorry, not Venus. Is it Venus? Yes, it is. Sorry. Venus is all about relationships. It's also here in your house of creativity, and it's also to do with your child or other people's, your inner child or other people's children or your own children. So could be leisure and pleasure. Maybe it's time to get out. Maybe you've been under this stress for a while and now it's time to move on, get out and socialise. Venus would very much like you to have some fun, to be peaceful and content with your life. We have the new moon in Pisces on the 10th, which is here in your house of everyday work. There's new beginnings. It's like finally moving forward. It's like you've been held up. I keep going back to the situation about delay, and you've been held up or restricted in some way, and now with all of these planets going in here, it's like you're moving forward again in your everyday life. You don't have to think about this situation anymore. It's dealt with, and so that's good news. You may feel more vital, you might feel better, just generally your well-being is higher than what it has been. So we do have lunar eclipse in Libra, your sign, on the 25th of the month, bringing a bit of turbulence around your identity, maybe your appearance, who you are in the world as a person. And you've had a way of being, a mode of being that is your experience and your past history here, the South Node. These two are going to be conjunct. Maybe it's time to update how you think about yourself, update your appearance and so forth, and relate to the world in a new way, of a more authentic way of who you truly are. It's like there's so much energy there that's waiting to burst out into the world. You can do more to be authentically you now that you've dealt with this situation once and for all. Mercury is in Aries on the 9th over here. Mercury goes to Aries, bringing a lot of communications with significant others, partners, maybe legalities, but not specifically so. Maybe people you don't normally get on with, but Mercury also brings great ideas. Mercury tends to be thought of as being more intelligent. So intelligent ways to deal with important partners, business or personal, husband, wife, significant relationships. The Sun is also moving in there on the 19th, bringing a lot of insight, awareness and happiness. And it could be now you can devote some time to those people that you care about. Venus is moving into Pisces in your everyday life, bringing a beautiful, polite, courteous energy that just makes things go swimmingly well. And you bring beauty into your life somehow, whether that be in your normal work environment or at home, but it's where you spend a lot of time. You could maybe update something to maybe buy a beautiful picture or something to make it visually more appealing. Mars is also moving into Pisces on the 22nd as well. Mars is not entirely happy here because Mars wants to surge ahead. Mars is full of vim and vigour, but sometimes a little bit too forceful. So do be careful that you don't raise your voice, just not because you're yelling, but because Mars just has more energy. But Venus there too will probably take the edge off, the rough edge off Mars, and make things more courteous and more polite. So it's good to have them together because it's like the male and the female. You have the opposites and you get the best of both worlds, hopefully. Other things happening in March are, if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's the autumnal equinox on the 21st, And this is about getting prepared for the winter, getting organised, get everything at home and at work organised. And maybe you'll be baking or freezing things or stocking up your shelves, and just make sure you have everything you need. If you're in the northern hemisphere, of course, this is your spring equinox. It's about planting seeds and getting ready so that you can harvest the efforts of your endeavours in a few months' time. So, i.e. in your summertime, or down in the southern hemisphere, it's our winter time. But it means that you can, if you're in the northern hemisphere, you can harvest and enjoy the fruits of your labours. Also, the final thing I want to mention is Easter Sunday on the 31st. It's a time of rebirth and renewal, regardless of what religion you may or may not be. It doesn't matter even if you don't have a religion, this still applies to you because it's a spiritual reality, it's symbolic. Easter Sunday is about the transformation that you've been through, and now you're starting a new chapter in your book of life, so to speak, and you are born again anew, nice and fresh and clean, and you start again on a new page and a new chapter. So that's good news. Alrighty, so that's it, lovely Libra. Hope this has been helpful for you. Leave a like and comment, I would appreciate that. Most importantly, have a very wonderful and insightful month. You certainly will. Thanks, and bye for now.